Hi YouTube, this is Aaron again. I want to try to cover two subjects today really quickly. One is the cleaning of your PCP, and the second will be on the cleaning of pellets and the importance of that. How I came to this first part is, if you recall, if you've seen the video, I did a review on the P15. And when Ken gave me that gun, it was right out the box. And he reminded me, Aaron, you make sure you clean it good before you take it out, because it's brand new. So I came home and I cleaned it. Thought I did a pretty good job because the patches started coming through white. But there was a flaw in that system. And I want to show you what system I used on that gun. I had seen on the videos that what you can do is you can get some trimmer line, premium trim line to go on grass trimmers, and you could melt the end with a torch or whatever, and then you could make it flat and then cut it to a point, and then what you could do is you could insert, you could put a hole right through the patch, slide the patch down on the gun, and then because this thing is very stiff, you could then take it, and I could take it and put it here, and I could slide it all the way up the gun and then pull this through. The problem was this thing does not put enough pressure on the barrel and on the rifling to really clean it well. His system for cleaning it found that out when I gave the gun back to him. He said he was bringing black patches through the gun. So I come up with another system. I did like as we all do. I went on YouTube and I looked at a number of systems, and I tried to modify what I saw there. The first part was to use, again, trimmer line, but I was a tennis player, so I have a sufficient amount of tennis racket string. So I decided to make it out of it because this stuff here is really tough, and it's abrasion resistant, so if it slides through and hits something pointed, it's not going to shave it off or anything like that. It really resists that sort of thing. And plus I think the diameter was just perfect for what I wanted to use it for. That's one part. The second thing I learned was I was on there was a guy, and he said what you should do, what he does, is he takes and cuts up his t-shirts into patches. Okay? And I think that's a really wonderful idea. I throw away t-shirts and make them into rags. This is a good initial cleaning. You're still going to run a patch through at the end, I believe, but But for the initial cleaning, t-shirts. And the way I do it is this. I take 3 of these, I put them together. I put a little WD-40 on them. WD-40 is a good cleaning solution. Ken told me that he uses brake cleaner. And I think brake cleaner probably has some properties in it that probably help to scrub the barrel even more, because it cleans brake stuff off brake lines. So then with that, what I do is I send this down through the barrel and out the other end. And let me do a commercial right here on these particular things. I got these from Harbor Freight. There are 3 different kinds of, I use them for my O-rings, working on my O-rings. You got a hook, got an L-shaped one, and you got a pointed one. And they're really good for getting in tight spaces and pulling things out of tight spaces like O-rings. In this particular case though, we're going to use the hook, because what it allows me to do is to reach up in here, grab this rather easily, and pull it through. Once this is pulled through, now all I need to do is take my 3 t-shirts, and you could just use a 1 or 2 and fold it. Grab it, hold on to it, bring it to the point, come up, grab the barrel, grab this thing here, which is great leverage, and pull. You do that a couple of times through with WD-40, and then you want to do your drying pad. Then at the end, all I do is I get 3 more I want to do in this particular case, so I want to get this done, but I would then take a patch and put the patch over 3 of these, and I would run this through a couple of times like that. And so basically I would send this back down the barrel, hook this on there, pull this through a couple of times, and the barrel would be finished. So that is how I now clean the guns, and this is the system that I use. And I think this little pulley that you see sliding there is excellent, because you could really, you can really get them in there tight and pull them through without cutting your fingers by just using the wire. So that's my system, and if you ever want to do quick cleaning, I recommend pellets. These little wads. You can put these in. You can put these. Shoot one through with a little WD on it, tiny amount, and then shoot a couple of clean ones through, or you can send them through dry, and that'll be a good cleaning for very quickly out there. So I just wanted to pass that on to you, and I now want to talk to you, change everything around, and talk to you about pellet cleaning, which I think is very important. See you in a minute. It's about pellet cleaning and the importance of that and the technique that I use in cleaning my pellets. So let me just say from the outset that in cleaning my pellets, I find that they did shoot better. Wasn't really significant, but they did shoot better. The most significant thing I found is this. I purposely have not cleaned the shroud on my gun just to show you this. There's a lot of dust on those pellets, and you'll see that afterwards. But if I were to take my shroud off and put this rag down in it and move it around and take it out, you're gonna see that thing went from white to very black right there. Okay, a lot of it is the dust that is on these pellets when they come from the factory. It's not from them going through the rifling. It's the dust from that actual pellets. And I will show you two pellets. I don't know if you can see this on TV, but if you were here, you would definitely be able to see it. I don't know if the lighting is good enough. You will notice that the pellets on the right are a lot more shiny than the ones on the left. The ones on the right have been cleaned, and they're shiny all the way around. The ones on the left, you'll see that they're dull. That's all that dull that you see on there is actually the grease from the manufacturing or actual lead dust. And that's the stuff you want to get off. That is the stuff that I'm showing you that was in my shroud. Okay, let's go about the technique. I'm not going to actually go through this technique. I'm just show you how I do it in each step. First of all, I get very hot water. Put it in a bowl. You can do either partial pellets or all the pellets. I usually do a whole 10. So I take and dump a whole 10 in here. In this particular case, I'm just going to put a few in. I put in a good detergent that will break up grease in the hot water. And I put it in, and I just swish them around because I don't want to damage them. I'll just swish them around like that for a while. And then when I think they're clean of the oil, because at this particular stage, the lead is still going to be on there, a good part of it. I would then dump the water out and dump it into a strainer like this, and I swish this around until most of the water is gone from the pellets. The next step, I will get a towel. I'm going to make this smaller since doing it in front of this camera, so I'll try to fold this and make it shorter. I will then take these pellets and put them into a towel. It would be a whole group of them though. I will fold a towel in half, grab it on each end, and just go up and down. Again, not to damage the pellets, but I'm drying them in this process, up and down, until I think they're pretty dry. Then after that, I will lay this back open, gather the pellets up, get a dryer, get a dryer, and dry them. Okay, once they're good and dry, the next step is to then take these pellets and transfer them to a piece of plastic. And I have done that before, and if you look on here, you can see that this is kind of gray from that cleaning. But you want to dump these on the plastic. Once you dump them onto the plastic, you can now spray them with WD-40. I'm not going to go through that process, but you will spray them really well with WD-40. Really liberal. And then you take it, you fold up, you're going to do the same action you did with the towel. You're going to grab both of them into this, and you're going to let these things get down as far as you can so they can roll as far as they can. And with this action here, you're just going to just go do this maybe for about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, and when you open this thing up, what you got to notice is that the pellets that are on this thing here, that you're going to have a lot of dust on here. This thing will be gray. Okay. First step takes off the grease, second step takes off the oil. Now there's one more step we got to do to get the rest of that off. And then that's when we bring in our second towel. We will now dump it from here onto our towel. And I'm working with just a few. I understand this would be a lot heavier if I had a whole tin. Fold the towel again. Go up and down, up and down. What you're doing here is you're doing two things. You're taking off the excess WD-40. You're shining them. And at the same time, you're removing all of the excess. When you take it from there, the towel would have absorbed all of the extra WD-40, and it would have shined these things to the point where I don't know if you can see, again, I don't know if you can see that on TV, just how shiny the one on the right is rather than the left. And that's the process I use for cleaning pellets. Once I get them in the tin, because I have so many tins, I put the top on it and I put a check mark on it. And the check mark just reminds me that these are the clean pellets and these yet to be cleaned. I know that if you don't see an accuracy improvement with it, I guarantee you your barrel cleaning will not have to be nearly as much, because by removing all of this excess from the oil and the excess lead from the factory, they're going to be shinier, they're going to be cleaner. As they go down the barrel, they're not going to foul it quite as quickly, and they definitely will not get all of that dust that you find in your shrouds. So I want to thank you. I hope this has been helpful. I hope to be doing that video I talked about on compressors soon. But until then, good shooting, and let me know what you think.